Hello, Poke people, and welcome to another episode of Chu News. As always, I'm your host, Dee Brady, and with me is my co-host.
Hi, my name's Teichichi. Thank you for asking.
And welcome to the episode. First thing, like always, we're going to start off with some raid news. Now, we did wrap up our first week of Samurott raids. That one was actually kind of difficult, not gonna lie. I
Totally.
I I know you didn't participate. Uh, I had to use probably about four or five different flying types before I finally got it.
And that's why I don't do them.
Yeah, because I knew, like I said last time, we weren't going to be able to use fire types
Mm-hmm.
because it's Samurott water. But
Couldn't you have
unless
used
you
fighting?
no,
No.
it wouldn't have been like as effective. But Austin John Plays did do something where he used the Blaze breed of Tauros, but you either have to
Mm.
have Scarlet or access to getting a Blaze breed Tauros.
Which we don't, because Pokemon Home.
Don't yet. Well, I mean, I do because I'm a nerd and have two Switches, um, and can just trade between the two. Uh, but it ultimately worked. I ended up using a bulk up Flamigo and just acrobatics the crap out of it.
I hate Flamigo, but I'm happy for you.
Finally got it. But this week's raid is Ditto, as I just kind of spoiled a little bit. So this one's cool because it's like Blissey, but how Blissey was great for farming items, which I definitely took great advantage of. This one is good for hunting IV Dittos
Oh, yeah.
because when you had Ditto raid events in Sword and Shield, those were chances to find like perfect IV Dittos. And I'm not sure if they've patched this or not, but both HDV and A Drive brought up the fact of the host could probably bring a level one Magikarp. Ditto would use either Transform or Imposter on the host, and then everyone else could just hammer away at
I have a question, though. So, you know
it.
how
Mm-hmm.
in Scarlet and Violet, you have to run into a Pokemon and then it turns from a Pokemon to Ditto? Is that what it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be like for these raids?
No, because I've faced Ditto before in raid events,
Okay.
and it very clearly shows it's a
Okay.
Ditto.
That's good. Just making sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is our raid event this week. We've got good old Ditto. So maybe you can get yourself a Ditto because we're getting closer and closer, hopefully, to Pokemon Home being available with Scarlet and Violet because they said spring of this year. So it's
Spring has
spring in
sprung.
America. Spring has sprung in America, um, and in the northern hemisphere. So who knows? Hopefully by the end of this month. If not, maybe I can look forward to it for a birthday present because I'm a May baby.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
check and see.
yeah. But in other news, we're going to switch it on over to merch.
Hi, it's me. I do the merch things. So, as in case you don't follow Pokemon on Twitter, TikTok, or even on Pokemon Play Pokemon Unite, Pokemon has gone on this Lechonk high.
It has been so cute. It has been so, so cute.
There is a lot of Lechonk merch, including an all-over print of Lechonk, a regular T-shirt, a hat, a beanie, a bunch of cards, a brown playmat, a plush that's 7 3/4 of an inch for $20, which not worth. Um, then they have another Lechonk shirt, more Lechonk cards, and Lechonk pin. They also threw in a Smoliv pin in there and a Palmy pin.
Of yeah, because those three I think got introduced at the same time, so they're kind of like the pseudo trio aside
Um,
from the starters.
I'm kind of expecting because there was a plush line of where it had Lechonk, Smoliv, and Palmy, and I think they're like the mochi ones. If I'm not, I could be mistaken,
Ooh.
and I almost wonder if that'll might be coming out soon, and that might be kind of reveal for that kind of
I
thing.
could. I
Plush
could.
wise, we also got Miraidon and Koraidon, and you might have seen them in the bless you.
That was a cough.
Anyway, we might in case you saw the memes on Twitter of the Pokemon centers, like literally having all the Koraidon and no more Miraidon. They're available for about $50. Koraidon is
Okay.
17 and 3/4 inches. Meanwhile, Miraidon is 27 inches. I'm assuming that means length, and but yeah, more Lechonk pins, more trading card set sleeves, and power boxes. We also got some more pins of Sentret and Furret, Octillery,
Interesting pair.
Mantine. What, Sentret and Furret?
Yeah, those are the regional rodents that, I mean, Johto itself doesn't get a lot of love,
Yeah, that's true.
but like let alone the regional rodents from Johto.
Yeah. And then there's a Octillery, Mantine, and Sharpedo pin set. There's also some oversized pins of Wailord and Snorlax. More playmats of it seems like they're doing a theme with the three that are coming out. One of them is Espeon and Umbreon, which I find interesting that they're making the colors for that blue and white instead of like black and purple. But that's just me. And then
Yeah,
they're also having
more purple and
Frost.
gold.
Exactly. And they're also having Frostmoth and Volcarona, and then just Pikachu's, and then
Okay.
there's a Pikachu pin box set.
Okay. Well, it's definitely interesting to say the least.
While we're still on merch,
Yes.
I do, in fact, have the big Fuecoco. He is here. He is fantastic. I still hate this up here. You can already see the creases. But he's big, he's lovable, and I sleep with him every night.
Oh.
Much worth, in my opinion. And now,
So don't forget, everyone, the Paldean starters, the big Paldean starters are out. You
finally.
too can get a big Fuecoco, finally.
You wanna know what's not out though? Sitting
Sitting cuties.
cuties. And I bet it's not gonna come out till the summer. That's my bet.
Probably not.
Because that's what happened last year when I had a mental breakdown over honestly, I think it was Gen 3 because the website did a whole thing and I was working at a sporting goods store that I'm not going to say the name of, and I was a cashier, but I was on my phone because I could do it very sneaky and I was one of the semi little baby bosses. And I tried to buy them while I was working, and it kept not working and saying my order was canceled. So I was having a mental
Mm.
breakdown. But it's okay, because I finally got them. And that's why I think Gen 5 is never going to happen. Until summer.
Or it's gonna break. It's gonna break the
100%.
website again.
100%.
Yeah.
Tossing it back.
Yay! Hey, got it. But wrapping up our news segment, just remind everyone that the new anime starts in a week. We are just 1 week away from following Liko and Roy on their very own adventures after we said goodbye to Ash. So, in America, it's not really clear on where it's going to be premiering just yet. My guess would probably be they're gonna stick with Netflix
That's my guess.
because that's my guess. Just because they finally got they've had the original seasons on there for a while, so might
Yeah,
as
this
well just
is
continue that.
X and Y, I believe. Like, they had Gen 1 and then they had, like, X and Y.
They had X and Y for a while, and then I think it got taken off. I could be mistaken because I know X and Y is on Hulu
I don't know. I don't
for
know why
some
they can't just
reason.
have them on one big platform. I mean, they do. They
Oh,
have it
they
on
do.
Pokemon
It's
TV.
called no. It's like it's called Pokemon TV, but they
But
rotate the seasons with the exception of Gen 7, which is permanently on there.
I'm just saying, I would rather not. Just give me it on Netflix, man.
Yeah.
Give me it on Netflix.
But that is it for our news. When we come back, we're going to answer some discussion questions, and we'll be right back.
Eh.
Welcome back, everybody. So, our discussion topic today is which Pokemon do we think are going to get either regional forms or convergent forms in either the DLC or future games? So, Tay already has her answers lined up, so I'm going to let her start. I still need a minute to think on mine.
I I'm gonna say this first one could either have another form or it could have an evolution because I think that this Pokemon's very underrated, and I have said this for literal years. Spinda. Spinda has no good stats. It isn't used in VGC. Rarely is it that people actually use it. And I think that it either A needs a new form where it turns into a big Vizzy Bear, or like give me a ghost normal. I know we already have a ghost normal. I came up with this before ghost normal. We had a ghost normal Pokemon. Um, but I think that Spinda I think that the story that Spinda spun itself to death. I think that because every ghost Pokemon needs a good lore, right? Like that would be great silly lore. And I think a Spinda would be perfect for that. And I think that a Pokemon that could use another form purely because of Gen 5. We have Gen 5 coming up. I think it should be a Gen 5 Pokemon. Um, and now, again, this could either have another form or it could have another evolution. Garbodor. I want. Yeah, don't make that face. I want Trubbish to turn into like a recycling pile so that then it's like grass and poison. Or not poison, maybe. Like grass and I don't know.
I can see where you're going, but I feel like if they were going to do that, they should have done that with regional variants to begin with, because Alola was all about like clean energy and everything. Like they even turned like Muck and Grimer into cleaners.
That's
Like they
true.
eat the trash.
I think that Garbodor just needs to be loved, and I think it's a very underrated Pokemon of Gen 5. And I think that it could either use
Yeah,
another form or it can turn into a bigger trash pile. Huge trash
it
pile.
it did that with Gigantamax.
I get that. I get that. But we could just make it more. And Gigantamax is no longer a thing. It's not. People hated on it so much that they said goodbye. And I am not a
That's
goodbye
what they did.
person.
That's what they did to Z moves too.
They do it to everything because they hate everything. And then when it's gone, they realize how much they liked it. Like Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution's overpowered. Okay, Z moves. Oh, I miss that Mega Evolution. Okay. And Z moves suck. Okay, how about Gigantamax? No, Z moves are much more balanced. Now we have
There's no
Terra
pleasing
types.
the
And
Pokemon
Terra, I
community.
think, is okay. I loved Gigantamax. I think you could do so
Yeah.
much cheese with it. But my
Hmm.
ADHD brain is getting off topic. But I think Garbodor and Spinda would be really good, like, things. I mean, we have Dun
Okay.
Spurs. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with any other Pokemon other than that.
Both of my answers, since you gave two, are also from Hoenn, just because that's where like my breadth of knowledge comes from. Um, and it's solely like based on their rivalry of Zangoose and Seviper.
Hmm.
So I would say that Zangoose, like they would get evolutions, like their feud. The story would be like their feud went so hard that they had to go beyond their current forms,
They had to
and
go beyond.
I, they had to go beyond. And I don't know, you could give Zangoose either fighting or dark type as a secondary type if you wanted to do that, and then
Because it's normal, right?
Seviper. Yeah, it's normal. And with Seviper, you could give either dark or something else. I don't know. Maybe Ghost.
I don't know about Ghost, because then that would
I don't
be
know
a
about
lot of
Ghost. I was
Pokemons.
reaching.
But maybe like a water snake.
Water, yeah.
I don't. I like keeping the normal type with Zangoose and making it fighting.
Yeah.
Water snake.
But just something that I feel like would be still neutral, because my initial thought was give like Zangoose evolved to get a psychic type to be super effective
Mm.
against Seviper,
Ah,
but then Seviper evolved to get the dark type to negate the psychic type, but then that would make Seviper too strong for Zangoose.
yeah. Or like Ghost and. I understand where you were going with the Ghost.
Yeah.
Like something that's neutral. So, like, because we have.
Either neutral or like thematically fits like Snake's venom can
Snake.
kill people.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, good answers. I like those little Hoenn.
So yeah, yeah. And they're honestly one of the most iconic rivalry Pokemon. Because like I think they tried to do rivalry between at least in the anime, they tried to do rivalry between Scyther and Electabuzz.
Yeah, they did.
And then they
Didn't
try for like an episode, and then they're like, no, we're gonna abandon this and never speak of it again.
they typically do it like rodent Pokemon and bird Pokemon. Because it was like Raticate and Fearow slash
Hmm.
Pharaoh. Sparrow. And then they also did it with they also did it again with Raticate and Young Goose.
Yeah, in
Gumshoe.
Alola.
Yes.
But even they try to do cross generational rivalries with Pinsir and Heracross.
They did do that. But then they fell in love, didn't they? In the
Yeah,
anime.
at least Goes did.
What a beautiful thing.
Hmm. But let us know what Pokemon you think is either going to get a convergent evolution or a regional form in either DLC or upcoming games.
Let us know.
Let us know. And when we come back, it's going to be everyone's favorite portion, the silly little question.
I know it's my favorite.
Now it is time for everybody's favorite portion, which is the silly little question. Tay, what is our silly little question?
Our silly little question is, without naming a ghost type Pokemon, if there was a horror, if we were in the Pokemon world and we were basing a horror movie about a Pokemon, who would it be and what would the plot be? What would the plot be? Without naming ghost type.
Okay. And did you also negate dark types as well?
We can negate it doesn't matter. Ghost types was the main one.
Okay. Mine, I'm essentially kind of semi ripping off a movie franchise. It's basically going to be the Pokemon version of Scream.
Okay.
And the main character, just because I feel like the face that they would give would be impeccable, and they'd be the Pokemon version of the Scream Queens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going for low hanging fruit with Screamtail and anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna say Gothita. Solely for like the face whenever they're having to do like a scream scene. You're like,
So would they be the killer, or would they be
no,
the final girl?
they'd be the final girl.
Mm-hmm.
They would 100% be the final girl. The killer would probably be like a dark type or something that's after psychic types.
What Pokemon would you name as Ghostface?
I didn't think of that one.
We're
I just thought
talking
of the final
plot.
girl.
Plot.
Um,
And it has to be someone you never expect. That's the best part about Scream, is that it's always someone you don't expect.
I know I said dark types, and now I'm trying to
What
run
about
through the dark
Morpeko?
type list.
Because Morpeko's small. What if it's like a pack of Morpeko?
It It is like, ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go with Morpeko because I was trying to think of a dark type that like looks like it shouldn't be a dark type.
Morpeko.
Morpeko.
I love Morpeko. Good
Either
answer. I like
Morpeko
it.
or honestly even Umbreon because Umbreon
Cool, calm, and
is just
collected.
black. It's just black with golden rings.
That's true. What if they made Umbreon who you thought it was gonna be, and then Morpeko's the actual person who's like the
Oh no,
best friend?
I would very much lean into the lore, the Pokemon's lore of everyone thinks it's Absol,
Hmm. But then it's
but
really
it turns out to be Morpeko.
I like it.
Because I mean, Absol's the disaster Pokemon.
That is true.
Everyone blames Absol for everything, which I don't know why. Because Absol is gorgeous.
Poor Absol, too pretty for this world.
She is.
So for my answer,
So yeah, what's your answer? And also, I thought of an answer before Tay did, and out of the two of us, Tay is the horror movie fanatic.
oh
I
yeah,
am not.
I very much am. I now here's what you could do. When you thought I guess I have a tiny little other answer. When you said like basing it off of another movie, if I were to base it off another movie, I would do It with Mr. Mime,
Oh yeah.
and that would be just a beautiful thing. And also, my actual answer. My favorite movies are zombie movies because those are the only things that truly scare me because I feel like a zombie apocalypse is totally realistic. And I think that it's a topic that we're all very undereducated on, you know? So I was thinking, what if the world became so polluted, right? That all of a sudden grass type Pokemon would start to die off because they can't photosynthesize properly because of the ozone. So in my mind, it's all the type. Jesus, train. Um, all the grass type Pokemon would become
Hmm.
zombies and try to photosynthesize in another way, which would be eating other Pokemon and people. So
Oh.
the main grass Pokemon to be afraid of in that would be Venusaur because I feel like Venusaur is like really strong
Hmm.
and would be able to just smack everyone.
True.
And I feel like Venusaur, like I can see the decaying flower, and like it having like same thing with like Ivysaur and Bulbasaur, just like seeing a brown bulb instead of a or like mold spots on those Pokemon, and like
Hmm.
having zombie Venusaur, and then it would be called like um Venus Venusecticide. I don't know. It like genocide, but like Venuside.
Venuside.
That's
Not
my
gonna lie,
movie.
when you said polluted, I was like, dang, she's really going for a Garbodor love
I love
here in this
Garbodor.
episode.
Garbodor is like one of my favorite Pokemon. Trash Bunny, dude. Love the Trash Bunny.
But hey, that's still really good, especially because also leaning into pollution and everything in insecticide. Venusaur's part poison type,
Mhm.
so it could just lose the grass type and as a whole.
Yeah. Go full poison.
Hmm.
No, I agree.
So,
Good answers.
so yes. So for our horror movie fans out there, who do you think? Give us your answers and plots down below of what you would do if you would make a horror movie Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
That was a poorly constructed sentence, I know.
It's okay. It's okay. And when we come back, we'll do our
We're gonna
little
do a quick
wrap
wrap
up.
up.
Ah.
Well, everybody, that is our episode. Like I said, let us know in the comments below what Pokemon you think should get either a regional form or convergent form, and what Pokemon horror movie would you make, and who would you cast? Like, what would the plotline be?
Better
And
sentence.
also, yes, better sentence than what I ended on last part. Uh, but as always, everyone, wrapping up. We have our raid event this week for Ditto. That starts, as always, usually at the end of this week and goes through Sunday. And then we've got the anime starting in a week. And Tay, you want to remind everyone some quick merch news?
Fuecoco's still here.
Wait, Coco's still here.
You can
That's all
get
that
your
matters.
you can get your Lechonk garb on the Pokemon Center website, and we're still waiting on Sitting Cuties.
Yeah. They are really taking advantage of Lechonk being a fan favorite.
No, I agree. Although they should be doing it with Pommy, personally.
Yeah. But that is our episode. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on our personal stuff. Mine is D Brady on Twitter, Savage Rainbow 21 at on TikTok. And hey, what are your socials?
I'm at Teichichu pretty much everywhere except for Twitter, where it only allows me to have Teichichu7.
And revise, I keep always forgetting my Twitter handle. It's DBradyEW21.
D Brady, ew.
DBrady ill.
I'm so bad. Anyway.
Anyway, so we'll see you guys next week. And remember, when you choose your news, choose
Chu News.
Chu News. Bye, everybody.
We did our best.